Asus is shown here on the IFA in Berlin, the Zenfone 3. Premiere for Europe, and this will come to Europe. I will go to the different models at the end of this video, but this is a basic model. Let's start with this one. And it reminds me a little bit with that glass backside and that dark blue here and these reflection on the Honor 8. Remember this one? The reflections are a little bit different, not so strong like on the Honor 8, but nevertheless, I find this one great. You have a metal frame round here with these curved edges, 2.5D glass on the front and back. Like I told you, like the Honor 8, I really find these very similar over here from the feeling and the haptics, but this one is bigger, of course, because we're talking about 5.5-inch display. So the thumb has a little bit more problems here to reach the opposite corner, but you all buy these big phones, so here you get it. And by the way, when we are on the display, it's Full HD, meaning 1080 by 1920 pixels, coming to a density of 401 nits, 401 ppi. And nits is also important because this is set to be very bright, 600 nits. I find it bright over here. I'm not quite sure, and I can't measure here on the IFA with my equipment, but maybe 600 only if you have direct sunlight, called sun booster, maybe, but it shall be bright at least. Let's call it like that. And you might have seen already on the backside, you have, of course, fingerprint sensor. This one is a Sony sensor below that camera here. And it's, by the way, it's IMX298, if you want to know, means 16 megapixels, photos, videos in 4K. You have a laser autofocus here and a dual tone flash on the other side and an optical image stabilizer. So I really hope, knock on wood, for a good quality of photos and videos. On the front for selfies, 8 megapixel, video in full HD. And you have a Snapdragon processor. To be precise, it's the 652, meaning so good mid-class 8 cores, all with 2.0 gigahertz, so kind of strong. Nevertheless, it's Adreno 506 as the GPU, and yeah, coming to the working memory, that's a little bit a problem because I do not know in which markets will appear which model. This one is the bigger one with 64 gigabyte internal memory, expandable, by the way. Let me show you this here because you have this combination slot, meaning you have a first SIM over here, and that's a big one, a micro, not a nano, the little bigger ones. And here you can insert a second SIM, and that's a nano over here. Or otherwise, you can have a micro SD card here, officially up to 2 terabyte. I know it don't exist at the moment. Maximum capacity now is 256 gigabyte. Nevertheless, that's huge, so you can expand that. So 64 gigabyte here, and let me go to this one. It's somewhere here, storage. So leaving, okay, several demos here installed, I guess around about 52 gigabyte net of that. So you really can think of having a second SIM card inserted. And there is another one with 32 gigabyte internal memory, and that one is having 3 gigabyte only of working memory. So I can't tell exactly which one will hit your markets, especially because there are more Zenfone 3 versions, because you have a deluxe version, there's 5.7-inch Qualcomm Snapdragon processor coming with 64, 128, 256 gigabyte internal memory, expandable. You have a Zenfone 3 Max. Nevertheless, it's a little bit smaller, 5.2-inch, a MediaTek CPU, a little bit smaller camera, 16 or 32 gigabyte memory. And then there is the Zenfone 3 Ultra, even bigger, and I do not know which one in which versions will hit to your market and which countries. I'm sorry. So for these details, please ask Asus in your country. I can't tell at the moment. Nobody can tell me here. Nevertheless, you all have this basis model here, and this is with 4G 150, and in Japan and Hong Kong, I guess 300 megabit per second. You have Wi-Fi AC. The only thing I didn't see here is NFC, and you have on the bottom here, this is a Type-C connector, USB Type-C, so you can plug in your cable in both ways, but you do not have USB standard 3.0 supported with a higher data rate, just the regular 2.0, but that's totally enough in my opinion. Yeah, and of course, just one final look into the settings here, ways settings. You can arrange everything. You have covers, you have motion gestures, you can save battery, you can save memory, you have all things you can do with that one, but you have, that's what I wanted to show you originally, Android 6.01. And by the way, we have now beginning of September, so meaning you see here, but this is beta. Well, so let's see, 1st of July, so not the current newest patch, security patch. Nevertheless, let's see how this one is doing in the reality. But this one I wanted to show because I really appreciate this one, and that's called the Zen UI. You have normally here on the start, on the home screens and in the menu, this is looking quite some Android-like. This one is looking different, of course, but I appreciate this one because you can hear, like I've already shown you, these settings adjusted, and that's something you can't do, at least not with Android 6 at the moment. So I find this really useful, really helpful, because everyone wants something different here. And the other thing is that has changed is the home manager, like it's called. So you can have completely new themes here. So most, I guess, are for free, and some you have to pay for. Nevertheless, you can completely change this one or just have some icon packs, like this one is called here. Oh, we have really, Wi-Fi here. Appreciating this thanks to Asus. That's not normal that it's prepared here on medias for media like this one here on events like that one. So you can have arranged this, including like the scrolling effects here, which one you want to have. So just do it for yourself just the way you want it. So, and I really appreciate that one. And the last final problem is I do not have any prices yet. I know for Europe it's some kind of below 400 euro, including tax, but I guess this version with 64 will be around about 350 euros, and the 32 gigabyte somewhere below 300. But question mark, coming to which countries, especially Europe, I do not know. I'm sorry for that. I would give you if somebody would have told me here, but at the moment it's not clear here. I just wanted to show you a first impression of the Asus Zenfone 3. I hope it's okay for you and give you some more information and first views of the new phone. Thanks for watching. Take care and bye.